Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video we are going to see the Leetcode contest 136 question that we have not seen yesterday. 3240. This is the minimum number of flips to make a binary grid palindrome 2. So let's see the question. So the question we have given here is we have to do what? Minimum flips we have to make in a binary grid array and in binary grid to make the palindrome, right? So the question is saying, give me 1 second. So the question is saying that we have given you can say grid, right? And in this grid a row and column is considered as a palindromic if its value read the same forward directions and the backward direction, right? So you can flip any number of cells in the grid from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0, and we have to return the minimum number of cells that needed to be flipped to make all the rows and columns palindromic, and the total number of one is in the grid is divisible by 4, right? Like say if we have given these things, right? Grid, so you should see the green one, right? So if the green one is going to be become palindrome, so it will become what? If after the flip 1 0 1, right? Because previously it was 0 1 0, so after the flip it will become what? 1 0 1, so that it will become palindrome. And there are some more examples are there, so you can see the further. Okay, so let's consider we are going to use a grid 6 cross 6, right? So how the value should be there, right? So if you can observe that the first part of the grid is what? 0 1 1 0, right? After that what we have? After 1 there is 0, after that 1, like that we have to make a alternate here so that it become palindrome easily, right? So what is the intuition we have to develop this problem, right? So you can see we have to process each block to count the flips, right? So let's suppose initially we have 2 cross 2 blocks we have in the previous grid, right? As you can see here, right? So 0 1 0 1, right? And 1 0 1 0, right? So if you process 2 cross 2 blocks, right? So it will look like this, right? After that what we have to do? We have to center the row for odd rows, okay? So as you can see here, right? And then all the centered rows for odd columns, okay? So there can be odd columns will be there, right? So for the odd rows means you can see, right? The number of rows is how many here? We have 0 1 2 3 4 5, so there is 5 rows, right? And here how many columns are there? So in this one it is odd rows is there, in this is a odd columns is there, right? And then we have to think about also for the both dimension is odd, right? And you can see we have extra one is here, right? 1, okay? So the center we have is both is odd, right? So like these are the you can say possibilities, right? And to process each block, like each blocks we have to make the grid flips, right? You can say. So each of these contributes to the total number of flips that we needed to make the grid uniform, right? So you have to think all the corner cases and then you have to write the code, okay? So first of all the first step was saying we will process for the each block, that is 2.2 blocks, right? So the first part of the code that we are going to write, in which we will use 2.2 cross 2 blocks for the grid. And let's suppose for the example we have 0 and 1 1 and 0, right? So we will consider the top left 2 cross 2 first, and then we'll go for all the blocks. So for each block it counts the number of ones and it will calculate the flips needed to make any cells in the block, in the same block, you can say, right? So let's suppose we will do block counting. How we'll do? So number of 1 is 2 here, number of 0 is 2, so minimum flip required to make all the cell is 2 minimum is 2 comma 2, right? So minimum become what? 2. You got it? So we have to find the number of counts for the 1, number of counts for the 0, and then we'll find the minimum, and that will become your minimum flips, right? So 2 will become your minimum flips. You got it? Now if we represent the grid with the blocks, so it will look like this one, right? 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1, right? 1 1 1 0, and this one is 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 0, right? So the entire grid is divided into non-overlapping 2.2 blocks, you can say, right? So now as in the step 2, we will handle the center row if the row is odd, right? So if the number of row here is odd, and we will process for the each center row, right? So for our 6x6 grid, it is not applicable, but in the 5x5, what we will do, let's suppose we have a 5x5 here, right? So here we will use the centered row, right? So in the centered row, we will compare the corresponding element from both ends, right? Then if n is odd, in that case what we will do, then two possibilities there, right? So if m is odd, now n is odd, right? So in both cases, right, we will compare the corresponding element from both end, right? So first we'll check for the m row, means a number of row is odd, and here we will check if the number of column is odd, right? And we will compare both element from the both end, right? The last one we have is we have to adjust the center row, right, center cell, if m and n are odd, right, means row and columns are odd. So for grid where both dimensions are odd, there are one centered, you can say, cell that needs special handling, right? Means either we will see the center row, or we will see the center grid, right? So center cells. So we have to adjust this center cells here. Okay, how we'll see that, we will see later. Okay. So the first step we have talk about, we have to process each block, and after this each block we will find the number of blocks counting using number of 1s and 2, and we will find the minimum flips required to make all the cells same, right? And to do that, we will do minimum of 2 and 2, like number of 1 is of 2, and one number of zeros is 2. So we will find the minimum is 2. Then we'll have we will handle the center row if it is odd, and if center if the center column is odd, right? And the third one we will see, we have to adjust for the center cell if both m and n are odd, right? In that case we will see. Okay, so this is the minimum steps that you have to follow. 2x2 we have to block, we have to process, and we have to find the you can say minimum flips we have to find. And then we have to think about center row. Then we have to if it is odd, we have to check the center column if it is odd, and column is odd, and if both are odds, right? So let's understand the code. So first of all, we have given 2x2 blocks, right? So in these 2x2 blocks, we have given a grid, right? So we'll get row and columns we will get, and then first we will process the block, right? 2x2 blocks, and for that we will divide m by 2, n by 2 will go till that, right? And then what we will do, we will count the grids, how many grids are there, right? So grid at I is a grid at m minus 1 like this, right? And then grid I n minus 1 minus j, and grid m minus 1 minus I n minus 1 n minus j, right? Means m minus 1 minus I n minus 1 minus j, and then minus 1 I minus 1 n j. These 4 will be there, right? I j, m minus 1 I, another one n minus I j, right? And another one m minus 1 I, m minus 1 I minus j, right? So these 4 will be there. So you have to think I j, m minus 1 I, and then j, then I n minus 1 j, and then m minus 1 I n minus 1 j. So after this you have to find the count, right? Then what we will do, we'll calculate the answer. So this is the answer is initially 0, right? So we will find the minimum count. So this is this will come from what? Count, right? So we have to calculate the flips needed to make the cell same, right? And 4 minus count we will do, and then this count. So whatever will come, you can say 1, and number of 1s or number of 2s, that we will do here, and we'll get the count plus plus, right? After that we will differentiate the counters, right? How we will differentiate the counter? So we will count 0s and central row and columns, and count for 1s in the row and column, right? And to handle that, what we have to do, we will divide m divide by 2 equal to 1, means we have to handle the row if number of row is odd, right? So if number of row is odd, we will divide by 2 and it is definitely it will become 1, right? So it will become your row is odd. Then we will find the mid row, right? So m divided by 2 we will do, and then for int j we will go to till n, right? And n by 2, and then we'll go j plus plus, right? And then we will find if both grid values not same, mid row at j and mid row at n minus 1 minus j, then we'll say it is differ, right? And then we do plus plus differ, right? In else condition we'll check zeros and be plus plus, otherwise we'll find plus plus here, right? Means we will find the number of counts in the 0 and number of counts in 1, okay? Then we'll do the same activity, right? If the column is odd, we'll find the mid column, right? And then we'll find the same way, count plus plus and count minus minus, count plus plus for the 0 and 1s, right? Now we will adjust the center cell if both dimensions are odd, right? If both dimensions are odd, so we will come into this loop, right? Divide by if we'll do, it will come 1, not 0, right? So in the odd case we will come m by 2 n minus and in the odd case we will check if both are 1, means answer will increase, okay? Then we will calculate the minimum number of additional flips needed, right? So for that, what we will do, we'll check this count. If it is equal to this, so answer will become difference, right? Otherwise we have to find the zeros. If it is divided by 0 is 2 or divided by is equal to 0, then it will come 2, otherwise the difference. So we will find the minimum number of flips needed, right? So this part is very important because we have to find the answer 2, right? For the answer 1, right? So for the answer 2 we need answer 1, right? Because we have to do answer 1, right? So if we'll do plus, so the answer 2 we will get, right? So answer 2 is nothing but to additional, we have to calculate the minimum number of additional flips and then we have to add. And to do that, we will check the difference is divided by 2 and the points, right, number of 1 is divided by 2. If both are matching, it means this additional will come to here, right? Answer will updated by the difference. Otherwise we will find the answer of 1. It will, if the divided by 2 is equal to 0 and the difference is coming what, 0, right? Means we will make 2, else we will give the value, differentiate value to the answer 1, right? And then we'll do answer plus answer 1, okay? So I hope you like this video, and to understand the time complexity, so in the first block we were using the blocks, right? Two cross 2 blocks, and then we'll have use m by 2 n by 2, right, for each blocks. So it perform, you can say, additional number of operations and like addition and comparison, right? That so it will take you m by 2 n by 2. So if you will divide these things and to be summarize this, right, so it will come O m cross n. And for the center row, if it is odd, we are getting O of n. If it is column, O of 1, right? And then it will do combine of this, so it definitely it will come O cross m, right? So finally we'll return the time complexity O of 1. So you do pause and see the time complexity, stress complexity. If really like this video, please hit subscribe this channel for more videos, and please give suggestion if you really like this video.